There was a content creator that asked, she was on vacation and she noticed that a lot of the families, the husband or the dad in the family just looked so agitated and annoyed, and she wanted to know why. And the answer is simple. One of my mutuals actually answered this question, and I've tagged them and the creator of the video that I'm talking about below. My mutual said it's because these men, they just don't like their wives. They don't want to be married anymore. And I 100% agree with that. And I just want to add on to that as well. They're annoyed and agitated despite the fact that the wife planned the vacation and did all the packing and is carrying everything and taking care of the kids. They don't want to be on vacation with you either. They don't want to be married, and they also don't want to be on vacation with you. They want to be out with the dudes who were out of college on spring break or summer vacation, partying and having a good time, because these men still think they're 21 years old. They're also embarrassed to be seen with their wives and their kids, because in their mind, they think that the wife is old and the kids are aging them, but they seem to have skipped the chapter where they are old and aged. They think that the wife is holding them back from this dream life that they should be living, when it's actually them just holding themselves back. A lot of relationship problems will be solved the moment a woman realizes the simple truth that her man just don't want to be with her no more. I see so many women trying to force these relationships. Y'all keep rehashing and having the same conversations over again. You're dragging him to therapy. You are reading books and sending him TikToks about stuff. You are orchestrating everything. He is just a literal body in the house or apartment. And at least you're married. Some of y'all would rather be a wife than have your freedom. Some of y'all would rather have a ring than have your peace. Some of y'all would rather have a wedding than have your joy. That it just means more to y'all to have that title. One of the gifts that I received after having spent years being in toxic relationships is I can predict with great accuracy if somebody's relationship is going to be successful or not. I can tell you who's going to end up ending that relationship. I can tell you who's happier in that relationship. I can tell you if they're faking and they're trying to put on a front. And it's all because I've been there, done that, and I know what it's like, because I've seen it from having been in it, and I have friends and family who saw me when I was in it, and they told me what they saw. I do this a lot with celebrity relationships long before y'all see the red flags. I'm already rolling my eyes, and a lot of you can say that it's obvious with celebrity relationships, but I can tell you the moment that relationship ended. I see it. Let's use Megan Good and her ex-husband. I don't even know who he is, as a big example. A lot of you might have said, yeah, they were going to end because, most celebrity relationships don't last anyway. But I knew that they were going to break up. There were two things that had happened. One, he surprised her with a hot air balloon ride, despite the fact that she shared that she was afraid of heights. And he decided that it was time for her to get over her fears. Without her consent, he just decided that, like he's a licensed professional. There was also a time when they did a live together, and he said something about her breath on the live in front of everyone. And everybody else was laughing, and I picked up on that. And the hot air balloon thing, I don't think people noticed that, but I picked up on that, and I knew that they were going to break up. I knew the guy was going to be the one to end that relationship. And there are so many other situations in real life that I can tell you that have nothing to do with celebrities, just regular everyday people. I can tell y'all that there was a coworker that I once had, and he had met this woman, and I was talking to a coworker, and we were just talking about their relationship. Shouldn't have done that. That was bad on my part, but we were talking about their relationship, and I was just saying, yeah, that relationship's not going to last. And she went back and told the guy what I had said, and he was just like, yeah, and there are people who don't think our relationship's gonna last. Now, I bumped into this dude almost 20 years later, and he's working at Smoothie King. and he's single, and he's talking about child support issues. Nobody wants to listen to the crazy, bitter person. Also, and this one's easy. This one is a no-brainer. If you ever come on one of my posts and ask me if I'm giving relationship advice, and you comment and you say, well, what if... No, y'all's relationship is over. First of all, why are you on my page? That's a big red flag. Now, I do have some people with good relationships on my page, so that's not always the case. But if your relationship was happy and healthy, you wouldn't be in my comment section arguing and trying to make it seem like your relationship isn't exactly what I'm describing in my video, and trying to figure out a way to not make that be true for you. The question should be, how do I move on from this? Not how do I make it work with this idiot who has told me numerous times that it's not going to work, or with his actions has told me it's not going to work. We have put such a negative vibe on divorce. Divorce is not a bad thing. Divorce is a great thing. If you don't want to be married to someone anymore, I would rather you end it than stay in that relationship and you be miserable and they be miserable. We have seen on the news and on true crime documentaries what happens when people don't think divorce is an option. And here's a hint: the other person never ends up alive. I would rather people know, hey, divorce is definitely an option. Hey, if you don't want to be around me anymore, get away from me, please. I might cry. I might have questions. I might be heartbroken, but I'll take my ass on to therapy. I will journal and go for meditation walks, and I promise you I'll be okay in a little while. Just give me some time. But please do not stay with me if you no longer want to be with me. And I wish a lot more women had that same attitude, because I can guarantee you one thing: if I don't want to be with you anymore, I'm not going to be with you anymore, plain and simple. But a lot of our relationship issues would be solved the faster that we realize that our partners just don't like us. And it's that plain and simple. And you know what? That's okay. People can like and dislike whoever they want, but get out of those situations instead of staying and trying to force it to work.